As time goes by, more and more of the most beloved figures in professional sports approach the end of their careers, which is why the development of young prospects is so important for the future. Especially in basketball, individual players can drive ratings, impact games more so than individuals in other pro sports, and their popularity drives the popularity of the league. So when the torch is passed from one generation to the next, it's important that they are worthy of receiving such an honor. This brings us to the topic of today's video, where we'll be taking a look at some of the up-and-comers in the high school basketball world and why I believe they could end up being generational talents that produce at a high level in the NBA for years to come. They're still very young, but as we've seen with players like Zion Williamson, talent can be identified pretty early on. Before we get started though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first young player with big-time potential we'll be discussing is someone we've discussed a few times previously on this channel already, being Cade Cunningham. Cunningham is committed to play for Oklahoma State in college next season, and even though the team has been banned from postseason play, he stayed loyal and stuck with his commitment. He's one of the best players in this year's graduating class, being ranked number 1 overall by Rivals and 24/7 Sports, and number 2 by ESPN. Cunningham is a combo guard that has very ideal size and length, standing at 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan, and his game is very smooth and under control. What really stands out about his game is his IQ, because his decision making as a primary ball handler has been one of his biggest strengths, and as someone looking to continue to be a primary ball handler as he rises through the ranks, that's a very good quality to have. He can score both inside and out, he's a versatile defender, and his brains combined with his physical attributes and polished talent make him my personal favorite to be picked first overall in the 2021 NBA Draft. The next prospect to keep an eye on we'll be discussing is also someone we've discussed previously on the channel, being Jalen Green. Green made waves in the basketball world by becoming the first prospect to commit to play in the G League straight out of high school, paving a new path to the NBA that previously had not been explored. Green is neck and neck in the rankings alongside Cunningham, being ranked number 1 by ESPN and number 2 by 24/7 Sports and Rivals in the class of 2020. Green is a shooting guard that, to put it simply, knows how to score the ball at a very high level. He's an explosive athlete, he's quick, he moves well off the ball, and he gets himself in good spots to score the basketball. He has a quick first step and very good change of speed, and his work as a slasher is something that NBA scouts rave about. Right now, he's a good outside shooter and a very capable shot creator off the dribble with room to improve, and while he's not a great shooter, it's by no means a weakness of his. Keep an eye on how his season goes down in the G League this year, because he could be setting a trend for top prospects for the foreseeable future. The next prospect rising through the ranks that you should keep an eye on and we'll be discussing is Chet Holmgren. Holmgren has really burst onto the scene recently and has been rewarded for his breakout season by being named as the best player in the class of 2021 by ESPN and 24/7 Sports. What makes Holmgren such a unique and tantalizing prospect is the fact that he's 7 feet tall and plays like a guard in many ways. He's a strong, confident ball handler. His best weapon is his ability to knock down shots from the perimeter, and with him being as nimble and agile as he is, he's primed to create a ton of matchup nightmares. His ceiling is becoming a Kevin Durant-esque player because of the ridiculous combination of height and skill, and while matching the kind of production of a former NBA MVP is probably unrealistic and an unfair expectation, he is built in a similar mold. One thing that he'll definitely need to do as he gets older is put on some strength, because at the moment he is pretty thin, but his skill set offensively is polished and unique enough to make him one of the top names to watch over the next few years, because his name will likely be called very early on in the 2022 NBA Draft. The next generational talent to keep an eye on coming through the ranks is Imani Bates, who is the clear-cut number 1 prospect in the class of 2022. Bates is a 6'9" wing player that attacks the basket hard, creates separation to get his shot off as well or better than anyone else in high school, is a big-time shot maker, and all in all, has a terrific feel for the game. Because of his offensive skill set coming so easy to him and his ability to create his own shot being so fluid, he has also been compared to to a young Kevin Durant, which is obviously major props, and it also comes with a ton of expectations. He's proven that he's a hard worker on and off the court, and he has the fire burning in him to be great. He's committed to play for Michigan State after he finishes his last 2 years of high school basketball, but some scouts have said that he could hold his own in the NBA right now at this very moment. Although he may struggle with the physicality of the competition at the next level, he obviously still has time to put on more muscle and get stronger because of how young he is, and otherwise, he's going to be a can't-miss prospect in my eyes. The next prospect that is destined to make some noise as he makes his way through the ranks is Amari Bailey. Bailey is a top 3 prospect in the class of 2022, and having played on Sierra Canyon alongside Bronny James, he really started to get noticed more with the cameras on that team a ton. Sierra Canyon is an upperclassman heavy squad, with many seniors and juniors set to play for big-time college programs, yet Bailey was still able to crack the starting lineup and serve as one of the team's biggest playmakers as a sophomore. He's a team-first player that can be used in a variety of different roles as a combo guard, and he excels both on and off the ball. He's a terrific athlete, he attacks the rim hard and finishes well through contact, and even though he's easy to coach and does well getting everybody involved, he's more than capable of taking games over and doing everything he can to get the win. On top of that, he projects to be a lockdown defender on the perimeter, and the value of two-way players surely isn't going down anytime soon, so NBA teams will look at him and think he's perfect for any system. The next prospect we'll be discussing that has a chance to make history not only for what he does on the court, but the decisions he's made along the way, is Makor Maker, cousin of NBA player Thon Maker. When Thon came through the ranks of high school recruiting, he was seen as someone with ridiculously high upside, but throughout the whole process his game was pretty raw and unpolished, so his failure to break out in the NBA was pretty disappointing. Makor Maker is yet another prospect with insane upside and talent through the roof, but he's actually more skilled at this point in time than Thon was. His offensive skill set is more advanced, and he very well may end up in the unicorn tier of players. He's 7 feet tall and plays like a guard on offense by handling the ball, creating his own offense off the dribble, shooting threes smoothly and confidently, and then defensively, he's a rim-protecting big that has the agility and lateral quickness to excel. He's going to be attending Howard University for college ball next year, being the first big-time recruit to commit to an HBCU school, and if he can help elevate HBCU basketball through this decision, while also becoming a dominant player, he could go down in history. The next generational prospect to keep an eye on over the next few years is DJ Wagner, son of former NBA player DeJuan Wagner. DJ was the top-ranked freshman in the country last year, and in his first season of high school basketball, he showed off an elite ability to create offense that could match up with the best upperclassmen around. He's an amazing shooter of the ball, has quickness and blow-by speed to get to the cup, and all in all, has shown off a very advanced feel for the game as a freshman. To put it simply, he'll get buckets on anyone, and as he grows both literally and rhetorically, he'll start to get stronger and will only be getting better and better. This freshman class has already shown that there's tons of talent throughout, so the fact that Wagner is currently ranked number 1 on ESPN's Class of 2023 ranking shows just how good he is and should continue to be for a long time. And finally, staying in the class of 2023 and now discussing arguably Wagner's biggest competition over the next few years for that number 1 spot, we have Mikey Williams. Williams is one of the most fun to watch, electrifying players in the high school basketball game right now, and his confidence on the floor, the flair he plays with, and the aggression he has are all backed up by talent and production. Williams took it personal when he wasn't ranked number 1 in the early recruiting rankings, so the battles between Wagner and Williams should be super fun to watch to play out for a long time. Williams is a scoring machine as well, and he made headlines for dropping a whopping 77 points in a game last year. His dunks bring fans to their feet in amazement, but he doesn't solely rely on his athleticism and is a lethal scorer from all 3 levels. His work ethic is also something that will impress anyone looking into him as a person, and he's already been training alongside NBA players and top talent on a regular basis. He has superstar personality and superstar talent, and I definitely think he'll be able to live up to the hype. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below any other prospects coming through the ranks that you think could be generational talent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.